Hey, what it do, YouTube? It's your boy Eisener's Tactical back with a video. And man, hope everybody's doing well. Yeah, man. So this is videos about one of probably the biggest rabbit holes you can jump down in the gun world, which is the competition pistol. I just want to see what you guys' opinion is on it and what's your thoughts, man. So let's just start right here. I want to start off with YouTube. We're in a safe, controlled environment. No ammunition around. This weapon is clear. There's nothing in the chamber. There's an empty magazine. Nothing in there. So yeah, competition pistol. Let's talk about it. Empty mag. Competition pistols. So this is clearly, I think, this is one of the biggest wormhole, rabbit holes you can jump down into, as far as competition pistol. That platform, that category of shooting. I guess I would say that genre of shooting. I think this is the biggest one, competition shooting. Let me get this out the way. Competition shooting, and for several reasons, man. Like number one, you got like different levels of competition shooting, different calibers, the way the guns are going to be set up, just tons of stuff. Outdoor competition shooting, indoor, three gun. I mean, just it's probably, I would say, easily the biggest, you know, category in the gun community outside of just flat out recreational shooters. Like, okay, let's just be fair. Recreational shooters is probably the biggest category. I mean, people who don't do competition, don't do this, don't hunt, don't just basically just go to the range and shoot ammo. I think that's probably the largest genre. Now, I think the second largest genre would be competition. I know someone's probably going to argue with me on that, but I don't. This is just my opinion, man. So I mean, you don't have to come up with my comment box to tell me like you're wrong, this, you're this. I'm just telling you what I believe. I don't have a lot of analytic data behind this, but I truly believe that there's more people that just go to the range and shoot to try to train for self-defense, home defense, than any other genre in shooting. Like, you know what I'm saying? Just novice, average normies just going to shoot a gun. I think that's probably the largest category, I think, in shooting. I'm not talking about military because clearly that can that you can get a large percentage out of military and law enforcement, but just civies, I would say that might be the largest category. Is just a regular normie just going to the range to shoot. So the competition is big, man. It's big, and so I was going to get into it. I'm still going to get into it, but just haven't had the time to really get into it. And that's another thing, is time. So let me give you a backdrop on my area in San Diego, competition shooting. So there's a gun range area out in on Fallbrook, California, but it's actually called Pala, Pala, and it's a Native American reservation, and they have a gun range out there, and they do competition shootings twice a month, and that's the closest one in my house, and that's about in a with no traffic. That's probably about a 25-minute to 32-minute drive. With traffic, it could be 40 minutes, 45 minutes, and it's a really nice range. I went there to shoot before. It's really nice. It's just right on there on native land, and I went to some videos and watched some of it, and they have all different divisions and open this that. They just recently changed the rules, so there's I think someone can correct me on this, but I think the two biggest categories is going to be, it's like a stock model pistol, and then models pistols when you put a lot of stuff on it, like magwells and optic, and so it's all these categories, man. I ain't about to go through all that, but it's tons of categories, and that's where the money comes into it. So what made me want to get into it, because I'm really competitive, I said, man, it'd be fun and just something to do on the side, just, oh my god, that'd be so cool, and so I went on Hickok 45 because when I first got into YouTube, gun tubing, watching YouTubers, he was one of the first ones I started to watch. And he said, hey, he won a bunch of competitions with the Glock 34. And he said that it's a great, I guess you could say, beginner starter pistol for competition shooting. But the reality is just people who go enter competition in this exact configurations with minor upgrades, like sights and that's pretty much it. And they blow guys off the map with all these Gucci guns and all these builds and stuff like that. So I thought, wow, that's cool, because I was looking at other pistols, but in California we're limited. Like we don't get Canics, you know what I'm saying? We get some, we do get HK, um, but I heard HK they don't like Americans. You can look in that in your own, but I'm pretty sure the Austrians didn't like Americans in the beginning either. But no, anyway, so we get HK, we can get a few other pistols and stuff like that. But so since Glock was available, I was like, man, let me just get a Glock, stay in the Glock family. So I picked up the Glock 34, and let me tell you, man, this is Hickok 45 wasn't lying, dude. This is the cheat code. He says the cheat code for introductory competition shooters, like meaning you don't really know, you don't know all the ins and outs about competition shooting, and you just want to get in and learn. He said this is be a great starter pistol, and he's absolutely right. It comes with a really good trigger. Only thing you really got to do from the stock configuration with Glock is just probably change out the sights. But Hickok actually shot it with the factory sights. If you look at all his guns on this table, he has no upgrades on his pistols. The only thing he does is just those Talon grips on it. So I thought that was interesting that this gun was built for competition. You can see that trigger's nothing like a regular Glock. It's nothing like a regular Glock. Very nice pistol. You get the long 6-inch slide, 6-inch barrels, so cutout slide. It's not ported, just a cutout, reduced weight. You can shoot it with a light. You don't have to shoot it with a light. Then I put the fiber optic sight in the blackout rear. I put the mag well, I put the extended controls, so, and it just feels great. Like I said, it's a really good competition shooting. And then when you get into it, it gets crazy because you can go into these competitions and you're walking there with this, for example, and you'll be feeling good in the parking lot. You'll be like, man, I got a nice pistol. I'm about to go up in here and do my best, and it's gonna be fun. It's gonna be great. And then you feeling really good about this. You're a normal guy. You just went and dropped a couple, $500-600, got you a nice Glock 34, feeling good, got everything going. And then you walk in there and you see the guy next to you and install, and he opens his case up, and you see this like beautiful Canic, like with all the fancy colors and crazy features hanging all off of it, and mags and extended base plates and all this kind of stuff. You're just like, dang, I'm way behind. So it's intimidating because there's a lot of really really good competition shooters that have really really good guns, and they put a lot of money into it. And that's why I was saying, if you get into competition shooting, you know be very very careful. I'm gonna go just right here. I'm not gonna give I may way down the line, I might get a slide cut and get a optic on here if I really get good at it. But I'm gonna try to enter most of the competition with iron sights and see how good I can get with the irons. And I'm gonna keep my gun in this configuration. I'm not adding anything else to it. No Timney triggers, no Apex triggers. I'm not doing anything to it at all. The only thing I did different was I put a tungsten guide rod in it, and that's about it. And I'm gonna leave like that. And then these are +0 base plates because I'm in a restrictor state. And that's another thing. You got to have tons of mags. And when you get into competition shooting, make sure you mark your mags with some like a Sharpie, like whatever your like eyes and ears or something, because these things will be dropping all on the ground. And trust me, $35 for a mag, people will pick these things up. They don't try to be a thief, but you keep waving money and shit in somebody's face, they gonna take it. So, and that's what mags are, they're money. So you drop them, man. There's a lot of people who just don't got that value system to be like, hey man, someone dropped their mag. Nah, it's going right in their bag and they gonna keep it, even though there's cameras at the range. But good luck trying to get a mag back if you lose it. So make sure you mark your mags. Okay. Um, how this can get very expensive. Like these Glock 34s, you can just go on the internet and punch in Glock 34 competition pistols, and guys just change out the whole slide. They do all these features to it, red dot, 507C comp, whatever, Warren Tactical or Terran Tactical or Trijicon night sight setup, whatever, competition sights, they lights. They just go crazy, man. Flare, the mag wells are ridiculously crazy, so you can get quick reloads. You know what I'm saying? So it's it's really a huge rabbit hole that you can fall down into. I mean, y'all see one of my videos where I showed you how to build a Gucci Glock, and that thing was like at $1,000, I believe, and that's not even competition. So in competition, some guys' slides are $500. those 6-inch slides. They're by themselves $500. They might have comps on the end. They might have like ported like cutout slides and comps at the end, uh, ported barrels. I mean, it's crazy. The controls are all super extended, way bigger than this, and everything costs money in the gun world. So it's a huge rabbit hole. It's a huge rabbit hole. And so what I suggest, just me, average gun guy, eyes and ears tactical, I suggest what you to do if you want to get in competition. Now, I'm not going to be biased and say, "Oh man, go buy a Glock 34." Ah, psych. Yeah, I am. Yeah, go buy a Glock 34. That's fine. No, but if you're in the free world, you have more options. So do your homework, talk to some guys in the free world. But if you're in California and you don't want to spend $2,000 or $1,800, there's guys that shoot 1911s, like they shoot Sig Legions and stuff, and those guns are expensive, man, and they put stuff into it. So if you in a free world, I would strongly suggest start with Canik because you get a lot in the box. It comes with all the things that you're going to probably upgrade with a normal pistol. You're going to probably get good sights. You're going to get a good trigger. You're going to get good grip modules. You're going to get serrations and all that kind of stuff. You're going to get several high capacity magazines. Yeah, I would start with Canik if you're going to jump into competition shooting. Because clearly you can go Smith and Wesson, you can go HK, you can go Sig, you can go staccato, you know what I'm saying? But then second, I would say if you was in a restricted state, I would say go with what Hickok 45 said, go with the cheat code. If you're a pretty good shooter and you pick up the Glock 34, it'll turn you into a better shooter immediately just by the fact that the gun is just very well balanced and low bore access, and you got a long slide, long barrel, and you have that Glock tradition of reliability. So when you squeeze the trigger, you know that it's going to go bang almost every time. Well, not almost, like it will go bang every time. So that's just something I would think about. And this one comes with a pretty decent trigger. Like I said, I don't know if I don't have the trigger pull thing, but it's a pretty good trigger. It's not like the other ones. So yeah, Glock 34 will be a good choice. There's guys shoot Berettas. There's guys shoot Glock 19s. They have all different categories. So you have to do your homework and find out what category you want to be in. Find out, do you want to go into optic or you want to go into the stock? Because they have stock categories where you can't put a lot of stuff on there, like magwells and stuff like that. So just keep that in mind. But yeah, this is a huge. You talking about Gucci, man? Competition guns is the. I think that's the Versace. Talking about Gucci, it's the Versace, or it's the Balenciaga. It's the Fendi. It's the Louis Vuitton of the gun world. Man, it ain't even close. Gucci Glock my ass. That's Jordans. The Gucci Glocks is for cats who don't really got money. You know what I'm saying? Competition guns is for cats who are retired and got money or got sponsors. They get thousands and 10,000s of rounds sent to their house, get guns sent to their house. Those guys are on a different level in that competition world. So don't be intimidated when you go out there. Remember, it's just like playing basketball, any sport, piano, any kind of instrument. You're only as good as the person behind it. So if you're a good shooter, don't be thinking that you have to go buy a $6,000 staccato and deck it all out to be a good shooter. Because more than likely, if you can't shoot, you're gonna make that $6,000 staccato look like crap because you can't shoot when you could have just bought you a $600 Glock or $600 Canik and then worked your way to the top and got better and not make yourself look like a fool out there shooting a beautiful gun and you can't even hit paper. So that's what I got for you, man. Competition shooting, huge financial investment, and we didn't even got into the competition belt, and we didn't get into how many mags you would need and mag carriers for your belt and a holster for your belt. And so it just goes on and on and on. And we didn't even talk about 3-gun and all that kind of stuff. So just keep that in mind. If someone think about going to competition, start off slow, start off with a decent, reliable gun with a good track record, buy a bunch of ammo, get to the range, find out how the competition is, the lay of the land is, what feet, what yards they're shooting at, what feet they're shooting at, and different angles, and maybe you can go outside if you have access to an outdoor range and try to mimic the course. Go to a competition. I would say do like I did. Go to a competition. Don't even go to shoot. Just go to watch, walk around, talk to different shooters, and then they'll tell you all the mistakes and things that you don't supposed to do. It's very friendly. The atmosphere at a competition is super friendly. It's much more friendlier than the atmosphere at your local gun range. I've heard people say that gun range is not friendly, and you might encounter some like sexism and racism and things of that nature. But I can almost assure you, if you go to a competition, you're gonna get greeted with open arms. Guys will let you shoot their guns. They'll let you look at their bags, look at all their stuff, how they set up. And if you ask questions, they will answer all your questions. Because one thing about people in gun community, and even the car community, they love to talk about their stuff, and they're very eager to share their experiences on their in their journey in the gun world. So hey man, I hope you guys like this video. I hope you guys like my introductory competition. I wouldn't even say introductory, it's just my competition pistol. It'd probably be the only one I would buy, unless I just amazingly become this great shooter and start winning a whole bunch of stuff. Then I would probably, do some upgrades. My buddy, uh, Desert Operator 556 just bought an HK competition pistol, 6-inch barrel. So I'm looking forward to seeing that on his channel. That's on our gun list. HK is on our gun list. So yeah, let me know what you guys think about the Glock 34. Do you have anybody who has one? Do you have anybody, share some stories about it? If you have a Glock 34, if you do competition shooting, do tell us a few stories in the comment box. Let us know what you're shooting with, what kind of ammo. And that's another thing. A lot of these guys be having these, uh, they do their own loads. So it's a big, giant commitment and world, but you just got to know where you stand inside of that world. And when you enter it, just don't try to just jump all the way to the top. Like, crawl before you walk, man. Hey man, it's your boy Eyes and There's Tactical, man. Like, comment, subscribe. The giveaway, I'll be announcing that tomorrow. Uh, I'm not really, a lot of people didn't do it. I'm not gonna say I'm disappointed, but it was viewer appreciation. So, you know, I thought people who tap in a lot would have entered the competition, but it is what it is. But the few people that did enter, I'm gonna pick a winner out of them, and we'll just go from there, man. Hey man, it's your boy Eyes and There's Tactical, man. We're talking about competition pistols. Share your thoughts, man. Like, comment, subscribe. Everybody stay blessed. Peace.